Grace did not sleep that night. She lay beside Bernard in the dark and listened to him breathe. She watched the ceiling. She told herself the woman was wrong, that it was impossible, that she knew her husband, that 10 years of a life together was not something a person could fake. But by Friday morning, something in her had shifted. Not suspicion exactly, more like the feeling just before a storm, when the air changes and your body knows what your mind is still refusing to accept. She went to work. She sat at her desk. She answered her calls. She smiled at her colleagues. She did everything a normal person does on a normal Friday. But inside, she was counting down the hours. She left work at the usual time, but she did not go home. She sat in her car, parked where she could see the entrance of Bernard's office building, feeling like a fool and a stranger to herself at the same time. The minutes moved slowly. She almost left twice. At 6:45, he came out. He was on his phone, laughing. She had not heard him laugh like that in months, maybe years. He got into his car. Bidaka. She followed. He drove for 20 minutes into a neighborhood she did not know. A quiet street lined with bougainvillea spilling over compound walls. He slowed in front of a well-kept house, a nice house, and parked. Grace stopped a little way behind him. Her hands were shaking. He got out of the car. He straightened his jacket. He walked to the door and knocked. The door opened. A woman stood there, younger than Grace, a bright cloth wrapper, her hair freshly done, her face opened into a smile the moment she saw him. She stepped forward. She wrapped her arms around him. She kissed him. And then, 2 children came running, small shoes slapping on the tile, voices rising in the evening air, clear and high and full of joy. "Daddy! Daddy! Daddy!" Bernard Shaw crouched down and opened his arms and caught them both. He was laughing again. Grace sat in her car and did not move. The world was very quiet. Or perhaps she had simply gone somewhere inside herself where sound could not reach. She thought of the IVF needles. She thought of the hospital waiting rooms. She thought of Abena holding her hand. She thought of the prayers, thousands of them, laid at the feet of a God she had never stopped trusting. She thought of the river. She thought of 10 years. She thought of a man she had built from nothing, a man she had sacrificed everything for, a man who had taken everything she gave him and then quietly, deliberately made sure she could never have the one thing she wanted most. Not because he couldn't give it, because he chose not to. He had been taking medication, carefully managed, carefully hidden, drugs that made sure no matter how many hospitals she visited, no matter how many times she tried IVF, no matter how faithfully she prayed, she would never conceive. And all the while, he had 2 children in a house she never knew existed, a family he came home to every Friday, a woman he kissed at the door, children who called him daddy. Grace sat in that car until the street lights came on, until the neighborhood grew quiet, until the windows of that house glowed warm and golden from the inside. A home, a life that was never meant to be hers. Then she started the car. She did not go home. She drove to the river. She stood at the bank for a long time. The water moved the way it always did. Patient, continuous, steady, indifferent to the smallness of human pain, and yet somehow always receiving it. She did not cry right away. She stood and breathed and let the truth settle into her bones the way water settles into earth, slowly, completely, permanently. Then she said out loud, to the river, to the night, to herself, "I know now." And she wept. She wept for the 10 years, for the child that had been kept from her by deliberate hands, for the woman she had been, trusting, devoted, willing, faithful, for the love she had given so freely to a man who had hidden his contempt behind a carefully practiced face. She wept until she was completely empty. And in that emptiness, something else arrived. Not peace, not yet, but the beginning of something clear, something solid, something that could not be taken from her. Clarity. She had spent 10 years looking for what was wrong with her, turning herself inside out, searching for a flaw that did not exist. There was no flaw. There had never been a flaw. She was whole. She had always been whole.